Hello, guys. Okay, the Neon and the Breakfast Club situation. I've been meaning to talk about it, but my thing was like, I wanted to watch the full interview first. I finally watched the full interview, and that's one thing I don't like. A lot of y'all who are quick to speak on situations, y'all go by clips. Y'all got to understand these clips are edited. It don't show the full conversation. It just shows like when it got heated. And it don't show like how it ends, how the conversation ends. It don't show how the conversation began, right? It's just not the full context. You don't really understand, and you don't get a lot. So I find it funny how a lot of y'all take a little clip and y'all had this long, deep message, and it's like you didn't even watch the full interview. So I wanted to watch the full interview. I wanted to see what it actually was and not guess, right? I just want to say the interview was really not that bad. From the clips, it looks worse. It was really not that bad. And to be honest, it actually was a great interview. So the Breakfast Club said that N3on reached out to them to do the interview. He had an announcement. He wanted to announce, which he didn't even announce, but he wanted to announce that he was leaving Kick, I believe, and going on to Twitch. My thing is, N3on, if you're going to be reaching out to people, and if you want to be on certain platforms, you have to do your research. You mean to tell me you expected to go to the Breakfast Club and you thought they wasn't going to troll you? You thought they wasn't going to ask you uncomfortable questions? You should have did your research on who the Breakfast Club is. The Breakfast Club is very well known. It's not a podcast. It's a radio station. Huge in the Black community. Charlemagne is like one of the worst people on the show. He's gotten a lot better, but he is very, what's the word? I don't know. You could say unprofessional, but slick at the mouth. He's going to troll you. He going to disrespect you. You know, he gonna come at you. He going to try you, right? I'll never forget, and I'll never forgive him. He made Little Mama cry. Do y'all not remember Birdman going on there and pressing them? All three of y'all. I remember Nikki went on there. She had to call them out. They didn't even listen to her album. They couldn't even name 5 songs on her album. She said, how y'all got me doing interviews? Y'all didn't even listen to the music. I done seen people nearly walk out. I done seen them kind of be combative with people and go back and forth. The Breakfast Club is known to be controversial. They're known to push an issue, to address things you don't want to talk about. They try to get you out of character, I think, to go viral. But this is who the Breakfast Club is. I don't really watch them as much unless I really like somebody that they're interviewing. And to be honest, here lately, sometimes it gets to a point where I can't even finish the interview because it's cringe. I don't always agree with the Breakfast Club. They're not going anywhere. They're not canceled. They're still a thing, okay? They're going to always be a thing. So, N3on, you can't be mad at nobody but yourself because you didn't educate and do your research, and you went on the Breakfast Club. You basically walked in. You walked right into it. You shouldn't have went. Why was you even on the Breakfast Club? It's a radio station. You're a streamer. So anyway, the interview went. It really wasn't that bad. I will say Charlemagne, it was moments that he said things that I felt were inappropriate. I don't think anybody disrespected N3on. They could have been more professional. They was asking weird questions. They did repeat some of the questions. They were all talking over each other. Yes, they did troll him. But people have to understand, there's a saying, a lot of people call it karma, but it's you reap what you sow. What you put out there in the universe or the world, it comes back to you. You can't say those things about the Black community or just be hateful, have hateful speech, be known as a liar, and just think nobody's not going to say nothing to you and people are going to be so quick to forgive you for what you said. No, that's not how the real world works. You're in front of Black people, they're going to address it. You said this, and that. They're going to throw it back in your face. Everything you ever did, they're going to throw it back in your face. You said this. What do you mean by that? You also did this. You did this too. You said these things. I think he would have been better off if he didn't try to be so defensive. I get it, N3on, you're human. You were uncomfortable. You was like, oh, I was young. I'm not there anymore. I'm changing. I didn't just talk about black people. I talked about everybody. You should have been humble. They humbled you. They held you accountable. That's all they did. You should have went in there and you should have just owned up to it. I said that. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I was wrong. I don't feel like that right now, but I was wrong. I'm sorry I did that. Yeah, that was crazy. That was wild. That's my past. I'm not living there anymore. You know what I'm saying? But yes, that was wrong. I'm sorry. To the black community, I just want to take this opportunity. You know what I'm saying? They giving you a huge platform. They trying to let you make it right. You know what I'm saying? You said you could have been like, all right, I'm going to use this opportunity. Y'all give me this huge platform. If you're listening, black, white, whatever, I want to apologize to the public, whoever's watching this. Humble yourself, sir. You was too defensive. You was trying to play victim. And you don't get to do that. I get you've changed. I'm the type of person, I believe in second chances, you know? But if somebody wants to say, nah, F that, I don't want to hear that. I don't forgive you. If they got animosity towards you, it's fair game. They have a right to, you know? That's how the real world works. I will say, though, he did handle the interview well. Even though he said like he felt he was getting ganged up on, maybe they were. But what did you expect? Think you forgot what you said? They wasn't gonna put their hands on you. They wasn't gonna jump you. They wasn't disrespectful. They didn't do racial slurs. They didn't say any racial slurs towards you. All they did was troll, and they held you accountable, and they humbled you. And that's what I feel like you actually needed, right? So just take it as a lesson. They actually dropped a lot of jewels. They was telling him a lot about life, you know, and just kind of giving him a lot of input. And it was coming from a place of love. So he's not a victim. I hate that he felt attacked and he did want to cry. I hate that. I'm a human being. But at the same time, you put out that same energy. Who have you hurt? Who have you made almost cry? Or maybe they did cry off the words that you said. Things come back full circle. So I just want to say, if you are changing, that's great. That's a start. And just keep doing your thing. Just keep trying to become a better person, you know? And I love, too, a lot of people aren't mentioning this. He said, hey, a year or two from now, I'm going to come back. And y'all going to see that, like, I'm really a changed person. And we're all going to laugh at this, you know, years later. So I feel like, you know, it's kind of like tough love. It's tough love. And I think that's why, too, I'm going to react to him apologizing. He's apologizing, which I felt like he should have did when he was on The Breakfast Club. But he's apologizing, so I'm going to react to it. And that just goes to show you he's not a victim. And it's just all about being humble and holding yourself accountable. And that's all they did. That's all they did. And that's what the real world does. A lot of y'all don't touch grass. Y'all be behind a computer. And y'all don't know how. Y'all just know the internet. But in real life, you're going to be pressed. And you're going to be trolled. And people are going to humble you. And you just have to take it.
That's going on the internet. Things from my past. And just sincerely talk to you guys, human to human. And first and foremost, I just want to take accountability, you know, for everything that I've said or done in the past. To anyone that I've talked to anyone I've said anything insane to anyone that I've made a remark to, I'm very genuinely sorry from the bottom of my heart. Deep inside, that is not the person that I am, and I want to apologize and take accountability and tell you that that is not okay. It's not. I started doing streaming. I started doing YouTube when I was 12, 13 years old. I never really saw anything. I never saw any like growth. I never saw anything. And then when I was 17, 18 years old, I started realizing that shock factor had a lot of value. When you would say crazy, you would do things that no one else would do, it would bring your views up. And all I wanted in life was to be big. All I wanted in life was views. All I wanted in life was clout. And I was on a clout high, and I just kept seeing my numbers go up off of me saying the most which I completely, entirely regret. And like even seeing these clips resurface now, and I'm looking at them, I'm like, wow, what? It makes my stomach hurt. Like, how could I sit there and say those things? How could I have done those things? And, you know, knowing that people see that, knowing that my family sees that. But I think the first step of all of this is, you know, this past 9 to 10 months, my entire content has changed. Everything has changed around, and everything's all flowers.
Exactly.
It's all amazing. That's not how it works. It's a slow grind, and it's a personal grind. It's a personal growth journey that I've already started and I'll continue to start. And I want to say one thing about the Breakfast Club really quick. You know, a lot of people, you know, there's 50-50 people saying, you know, getting mad at them for going in on me and all that. I knew what was going to happen going into the Breakfast Club, and I went there for a reason, right? I knew this is what they do. They go
you knew.
and they look at your past and they talk about everything and they confront you for things, which is their job. That's what they do. They're just doing their job, right? And I went on there because I want that chapter of my life gone. I knew they would talk about all this stuff. I want it gone. I want it done. I want to accept.
Well, you the one play victim, baby.
It, learn from it. Try to be an example
well,
to
that's
kids,
good.
to show people.
I'm sorry I didn't let him finish, but I get it. I get it. And thank you, N3on. I accept your apology. I think that's really all I wanted. I didn't have an issue with N3on. To be honest, the only reason I'm making this video, my issue was the black community, right? They were so quick to defend N3on, treat him like a victim, bash the Breakfast Club, and say, you know, oh, that was years ago. Give him a second chance. People make mistakes. You know, I feel like the black community, we so contradicting. We're so quick to like just accept apologies. You know, we're so quick to take people in when they're not like us. No Kendrick Lamar. But for real, y'all, we're so quick to take sorries, and we welcome everybody in. We give them second chances. But with our own people, we don't do the same thing. It's like we look out for everybody but us. Why is that? That's what pissed me off. Why are y'all defending N3on? But it's other people who y'all constantly don't forgive. Y'all throw it in their face. And y'all have static. Y'all canceled these people, so-called. For instance, a lot of y'all was talking about y'all was talking about Castanet was taken up for N3on. He defended N3on. He never defended N3on. Watch the full clip. He said, I'll probably never collab with N3on. I don't really care about what he got going on. We've had our conflict. I seen some of the clips. They looked wild. Some of the clips did look wild. I wish they would have been more professional, the Breakfast Club. But he basically was like, I don't want nothing to do with N3on. You know what I'm saying? But y'all was like, oh, Kai is defending N3on. He said black Americans don't have no culture. I'm just saying, yeah, Kai is grown, but he's young. And he's very uneducated and ignorant to that fact. I don't agree with that. But instead of like really sitting him down and be like, Kai, you can't say this. Instead of educating the man, y'all just so quick to just like throw in the towel. He's not like us. Y'all constantly throw that in that man's face. Y'all trying to cancel Castanet. Then you got people like Doja Cat. Y'all don't never forgive. Y'all always throw in her face. Y'all know she don't like, well, I ain't gonna say that, but she dates white men. That's her preference. You can have a preference, okay? But she was in some chat room with white people saying the N-word or something. Y'all act like she's not black. But anyway, y'all throw that in her face. You're a racist. Right? I'm just saying, y'all, it's so many people who say controversial things. And, you know, they make mistakes. They apologize. And it's like, y'all still give them hell. Y'all don't defend them. Tyler, y'all swore she said she wasn't black, which it was kind of taken out of context. She said she's a colored woman, which in her country she is. It's a race. She's proud to be colored. Just how we proud to be black Americans. Right? That's all she know. But when she comes to America, she's black. Right? But y'all don't want to welcome her in. Y'all gonna keep throwing that in her face. She don't want to be black. Right? So I'm just saying, it's a lot of controversy, and I can keep going on and on and on. I ain't gonna lie, Jess, that's on the Breakfast Club, I don't really care for her. You know, she said some stuff about Chadwick Boseman, my hometown hero. I still feel away. She said some stuff about Chadwick Boseman. She was basically picking on him for being sick, right? And he ended up dying with cancer, right? But I will say, like, I got so much respect for Jess. When I watched this interview, I actually liked her in the interview. I thought she was funny. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, it kind of made me look at myself like, dang, I might have to forgive this girl, because, you know, she's apologized. You know, we all make mistakes. So I might give her the benefit of the doubt. But I'm just saying, y'all, we are so quick to down our own people. And I don't like it. And that was my main issue with this whole situation. So I don't know what we can do as a community, but I just wish we wasn't so quick to tear each other down. But I don't hate N3on. I like I said, I believe in second chances. I also realize I don't know these people to hate them. Even the people I named, I don't know them to hate them, you know. But I get too that they did say some things. I'm not saying you have to accept them. If you want to cancel them, okay. But my thing is keep the same energy. That's it. That's all. That's all I'm going to say about this whole situation. Y'all let me know if I'm right or if I'm wrong, or how y'all feel about it. Please put it down in the comments. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much. Do all that good stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. This is my live channel. Y'all can hit up my Twitch. I think it's linked in my bio. But I'll see y'all on my next one.